car of the 70s is the Alfasud, from a decade that saw the rise of a new breed of performance car, the hot hatchback. But cars like the Golf GTI and the Escort XR3 came after the Alfasud. Originally though, the Sud was neither a hatchback, nor was it particularly hot, so why should it be chosen? The real reason is that for a car of this size, the handling was superb. People had grown used to the Mini cornering as if it was on rails, but they didn't expect that sort of road holding out of a car the size of the Allegros or the Citroën GSs. The motoring press, they all raved about the road holding capabilities of the new Alfasud. Autocar said it was the best front-wheel drive car yet, and they even went as far as to suggest that other manufacturers got hold of the Alfasud as soon as possible to see just how to do the job properly. And lo and behold, 3 years later, Volkswagen came up with the Golf, which was to prove the car to beat in the future. So what was so good about the Alfasud handling? Well, the very positive turn-in, belts with a rack and pinion steering. It provided very stable cornering, limited body roll, and it was sure-footed all the way. Now we're probably used to this sort of handling, but at that time it set the standards for the future. So, how did they produce such good handling in a car of this size? Well, they started by building a brand new flat four-cylinder engine and mounting it ahead of the centre line of the front wheels. That meant that the engine could be mounted very low in the chassis, thus providing a very low centre of gravity, which is always sought to provide increased road holding. There was conventional McPherson front suspension, and unlike the Mini, there was a beam axle across the rear of the car, firmly located, and also providing a certain amount of rear wheel steering, if you like, almost thought of as a modern concept, but something which rid the car of some of the inherent front wheel drive understeer. So nothing very innovative, everything had been sort of done before, and yet the geometry was very good and the suspension generated excellent cornering forces. So why wasn't the Alfasud more successful? Sadly, it was due to poor engineering, making them underpowered and very prone to rust. Alfa Romeo eventually boosted the power and made the car a hatchback, but by then the Golf GTI was firmly established as the car to beat. The Alfasud continued into the 80s. By then the trend it had started for hot hatchback saloons to be the car for the young enthusiast. That trend had spelt the end of the mass-produced two-seater sports car. Now the same fun could be had driving a family saloon that was also a practical, everyday car.